Hey guys, thanks for joining me for an episode of Learn to Play Games. My name is Lance, and today we're going to take a look at a brand new game on Kickstarter called Crows. This is a 2 to 4 player game that takes roughly half an hour to 45 minutes to play. It is a competitive strategy game, so each player is working against the other players to gain the most points to be the overall winner at the end of the game. And this one is being put out by Junk Spirit Games. So in the game itself, each player is going to be playing these little characters or critters that are basically like mystics or shamans that are trying to place their totems to gather the most crows to those areas. And the more crows that they get in those areas, the more points they're going to receive. From there, then the players are also going to be able to play spell cards that'll be able to backstab other characters or gain advantages for their character, depending upon how and when they choose to play these cards. And the tiles themselves even have different effects. So based on wherever you place your totem, you'll have some sort of an effect or benefit for a lot of those tiles that you place on. So my opinions of this game so far are pretty good. It's very easy to teach. There's not a lot of rules to this one, and there's a fair amount of variety. Like I said, with the tiles being different and having the spell cards, you have a lot of variety. So each game is going to be unique and different depending upon what strategies the players take. On top of that, I love the artwork to this game. There's just so much to it. There's so much to look at. Not only each of the characters that you can play is unique in its art style. It definitely feels kind of like a Tim Burton type of a setting. Each of the characters you could easily see in one of his films, so it really kind of grabs you. The tiles are well done. Each one of the tiles has their own unique kind of art, and the spell cards and just the overall theme of it. It definitely has that kind of a creepy, interesting fantasy kind of setting. And it definitely is gearing you up for Halloween. Now, granted, the game won't be out this Halloween, but by next Halloween, you guys will be set. And this is definitely one that I can see showing up on tables a lot. Like I said, it's very easy, and if you want to play it even quicker, you could probably decrease the amount of tiles that are being used, and that'll speed it up. It'll decrease the amount of turns, and you could probably get a good game in 15-20 minutes and have it as a great filler game. So I definitely recommend checking it out if you guys like strategy games or you're interested in any of this stuff. I definitely would give this one a look. And so let's go ahead and head to the table, and I'll show you guys what this one's all about. For game setup, the first thing players are going to do is shuffle the tile deck and then deal out 13 tiles in this grid pattern to set up the game. From there, then the players are going to deal out any tiles that have a picture of crows on them. They'll place the crows on those tiles to start the game out. And then from there, we have some other tiles that I'm going to go over real quick just so you guys can see that there are different tiles that have different effects. We have Baron tiles, so if a player places their totem on there, they're going to gain one spell card. If a player is on the mono way lines, these tiles, any crows that will go to that player are going to be worth double points. The mana token tiles will stop crows from moving through them. And then we have gem tiles, which if a player's totem is on there and they're an equal distance from other players, they're going to pull the crows towards them first because those are a better tile to go towards. We also have the Carry on Paradise tiles, which will generate a crow each turn. So there's a lot of different tiles and effects. From here, then the players are going to start the game by selecting one player to be the first player. And there will be a token included in this. I just simply using this one represents the first player. From there, then you would choose a player, and that player would get to draw one tile from the stack. Take a look at the two tiles that they have. Choose one tile and place it anywhere on the board. They can place it in between these sections or connecting to another section. They just cannot place it diagonal to sections. So let's go ahead and say that we place it here. From there, then the player can play any spell cards that he has, which our player doesn't have any spells yet. And then from there, then he's going to place his totem. So he can place it on any tile that is empty, that does not have any crows in it. And then from there, then it'll move to the next player. So again, our player would draw a new tile, check the tiles that he has, and then place one out. So let's go ahead and do this one here. It will get a crow for that first turn, and then that player is going to place his totem. So he placed it in a Baron, so he would gain one spell card. He could choose to play any spell cards he has, and then we would move to the end round effects. So at this point, then all crows are going to flock in a straight line towards the player's totem that is closest to them. So we have this player gathering 3, and this player will gather 1. But again, he's on a mono-way line, so it's going to be worth double points. Crows will not pass over spaces that are empty, so this crow here would not move towards that one, as it has an empty space to get to that space. From there, then the players would receive points. So our green player would receive 3 tokens, and our blue player would receive 2. If you ever have 6 or more crows in a location after that, then you would do a murder scatter. So let's go ahead and say that our player here happened to have 6 crows or more. At that point, then when you're doing the scatter, 2 of them are going to fly off as a pair, and the rest of them would go off in a spiral pattern of the player's choice. So let's say that he starts here, then it would be placed there and here. We'd skip over this one, place one here, skip over that one, and place one there. So it would continue going out in a further pattern the more crows that are on there. Now we'd also place a mana corruption token on that space, and in later turns, players cannot place their totems on spaces that have mana corruption symbols on them. From there, then we would continue on to a new round, and the players are going to continue doing this, going back and forth between players, going through the stack until the nightfall tile comes up. At that point, then the player will get to draw another tile and complete his turn, and all players would get to complete their turn, and then the players would total up the total number of points that they have, gaining points for both the tokens that they have, any spell cards that they have left over, and the player that has the most points at that point will win the game. Well, I hope you guys found that video helpful. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the comments section below, and swing by the Kickstarter's page and leave them some comments as well. I'm sure they would love to hear your guys' questions or support. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching my videos. I do really appreciate that you take the time to watch my videos and to leave me feedback on them. And I also have a Twitter and Facebook account now, so if you'd like to continue the conversation over in one of those forums, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this game or other games that you guys are playing or interested in seeing me cover, and just your overall opinions of the games. I mean, is this one you guys are looking at backing? If so, why? And if not, why is that? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. And until next time, I will see you guys later.